in Placencia, it's pretty much in backyard, and we have identified some areas that have a lot of hosts, which are almonds or hamans, as they are commonly known in Belize. And so these are the primary hosts for Medfly. And so we are in the process of doing pruning for these host trees. And so we're asking the public to please cooperate with us. In fact, we must say, and I'm happy to report, that most people have been very, very cooperative with us. We've asked people to give us the permission to enter their property and to remove the fruits. And so we're in the process of doing that. We are also doing some other control measures, such as putting up additional traps to ensure that if there's any established population, we're able to detect it timely. Since Belize has a Medfly-free status, we do not have this fly established in Belize, and they are only introduced when people bring fruits that are infested into the country. We do believe, based on the characteristics and the detections, that this is happening because of contraband. We have credible information that there are people who travel to Honduras, come back to Placencia, bring fruits and vegetables that are host to the Medfly, and sell these to people along the peninsula, the resorts and people along the peninsula. And this, we think, is the reason why we're having these issues. What happens is that the Medfly lays its egg in the fruit, and once the egg starts to develop, it develops into a larvae or a worm. So if you find a fruit that has worms, if it's a fresh fruit such as, like I said, hamans, mango, guava, these normally are host to different type of fruit flies. Here in Belize, the primary host for the Medfly is the hamans. And so most people wouldn't be able to identify whether it's a Medfly or a different type of fruit fly. So we ask the public, if you find Medflies or if you find larvae in your fruit, please report it to the nearest BAHA office, and we will send qualified technicians who are able to identify the flies.
Okay. Now, when we hear about the Medfly, can you talk to us about why this is such a concern for the BAHA, that the Medfly is controlled and we get rid of it, we eradicate it?
Right. Well, the main concern for Belize in having Medfly is that it prevents the free flow of commercial trade. And so if a country has Medflies, countries that do not have this pest do not allow you to export your fresh fruits to their country. We export fresh fruits to the U.S. And so if we were unable to control and contain this pest, and it got into the areas that we were producing fresh fruits for export, then that market would immediately be closed. And so we would lose foreign exchange earnings, people would lose their jobs. And in an area like Placencia that do not have any commercial production, it also affects the bona fide farmers who earn their livelihoods by selling their backyard fruits such as mangoes or guava or plums. And if we had to implement an internal quarantine because we are unable to control this outbreak here in Placencia, then it would also cause unnecessary inconvenience to people who wanted to move their fruits from one area to the next.